This is Christoph Yalik.
This is Just Janet.
And this is K. Colley.
And this is
the Just Nuggets Podcast.
And this is all what y'all been waiting for, ain't it?
Yeah,
Are you not
buddy.
entertained? Tonight we got the Nuggets versus Boston. This is the Just Nuggets Podcast.
Yes,
My name is K. Colley. We have Just Janet over here. How you doing?
Hello. K-Dot, how you doing today?
Doing well. And then we have Mr. Christoph Yalich.
What up?
And
Hey.
we're here to talk some Nuggets. Let's go, baby.
So they play the Boston Celtics tonight?
We're playing a potential
Uh-oh.
NBA Finals preview.
Okay.
This is the teams that everybody's been saying are the best two, and the NBA gets a show tonight.
Thursday, March 7th.
Nobody's ducking smoke. I believe Jason Tatum's playing. I believe Jaylen Brown's playing. I think Drew Holiday's playing.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis.
And we're good on our side. We don't have any.
Derek White. They all playing. I know Jamal's ready.
Yeah.
Nicola's ready.
Yes.
Is KCP playing?
KCP's playing.
Let's
He played
go.
last game
So,
too.
I mean, what are you all looking forward to this game? What do you...
Well,
You can clearly see that we're dodging the subject of us losing to the Suns.
right.
But
No, I'm going to bring it up right now.
regardless,
I'm bringing it up right now. You said, what are we looking for?
about Boston tonight?
Yeah, you said, what are we excited for? I just want them to play their best game. I don't think they did that last against the Suns. Even though they came back from how many points down? 21?
22,
yeah.
And they used all their energy. We got it to the end. Usually Joker hits that, walk away, get off the court. We won basket, but it almost went in. And if we had 0.1 second left when AG put it back, we would have won in regulation. Unfortunately, we went to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix only scored 12 points in the fourth and 15 in overtime. So
Which says we were tired and
Yeah.
we didn't
And
defend.
didn't you say Kaz said basically the first team to 5 was going to win the
First team to 5
Yeah.
in a overtime game usually wins.
The
So.
thing I do love about the Nuggets is that they have such a crazy clutch time in them.
Yeah.
So regardless if it's the third or the fourth and they're down by a lot, they still find a way to get back in those games. This is a rare occasion where we just didn't pull it out
No.
in overtime.
Mm-mm.
But the Nuggets have had a history of just bringing those games
And I
back
think you're
home.
saying that because we're at home. We were at home, and so you always expect we're
Yeah,
going
we
to win
just
at
dug
home.
too much of a hole.
Sure.
yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown actually might be out tonight. He's a game time decision.
Oh, we want
Just
to
throwing
see
that out
everybody.
there. He's a game
know.
time decision. He'll
Okay.
probably play, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to say
Mhm.
that for the Celtics fans listening. Looking forward to tonight because, yeah, sure, last game was a good win for Phoenix, but it also would have been a terrible loss for him too. So I'm kind of indifferent with that. The Nuggets literally were down by 22, didn't have much of an effort. Literally, Peyton Watson missed about 4 or 5 wide open looks in the
Three, yeah.
fourth. Jamal had like $1 million move, 5-cent finish, was just
Yeah.
chucking up layups. So I threw that one out because I'm like, that was sloppy down the stretch. Even though we came back, and they almost won it. That would have been an excellent. It would have been on the highlight reel for the rest of his career if Yoke hit that shot
along
that fall
with
away.
many of the many others, yes.
No, but that one would have been a staple, and that was gorgeous. It was kind of like one of those things. If they don't beat them in regulation, they weren't going to beat them in overtime. So I think that's kind of how it was. So good win for the Phoenix. You guys very much so escaped having one of the worst losses of this season.
Not to mention, I'd say that because they were missing Devin Booker.
They were.
Yeah, so then they should never been up 22 on us.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that more goes to how the Nuggets were playing, especially on a 6-game winning
And
streak.
KD
KD
stepped.
is
KD,
him.
did he score almost
I think
everything?
that's
in
the thing that
overtime?
sometimes you see all these great players, Nicola, all those guys can turn it on. And,
Yeah.
and I think with KD, sometimes people just don't give him his flowers. Like he is a dog. You know what I
KD.
mean? And no matter what you look at it, it's just KD proving who he is.
I saw something on social media today. They said if Nicola wins this year's championship, goes back to back,
MVP?
does he pass?
the championship. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he pass KD? And I said, nah, not really to
No.
me.
Not yet.
I would still put KD above him. He's in his weight class though.
Yeah,
if he
he
wins it,
is,
you
he
know what I
is.
mean. Like he
if
wouldn't
he
be.
wins another championship,
If
Yes.
Nicola wins it this year, and he wins MVP, so that means he would have 3 MVPs, 2 championships, and 2 Finals MVPs.
I wouldn't. Here's the thing: it's interesting.
It's a big
I
shrub.
kind of would say Nikola would pass him only in the legacy standpoint, from the sense of this: he was a bus driver on both those teams, and so you can make a bigger argument for Nikola being the guy. Where KD came and joined Steph Curry and all them, who had already won a championship without him. So it's just slightly different, and it's hard to do that comparison.
It is. It's
That's what
hard.
makes it
It's hard to
tough
do
for
the
me.
comparison because they don't play,
And they don't play
basically
the same position, and they don't play the game the same.
And when you think of KD, I think of more than just NBA play. I think of Olympic play and how he's contributed to the team. Because I'm telling you, the last
If you
time,
do that, Nikola is excellent in the Olympics.
yeah, but we
too.
won gold. But we got gold.
I'm just
That's
saying,
true because he's
We
an
got gold.
American.
Yeah.
Like he's
No,
got
I get
more
it.
help. That
But-
goes back to Kyle's point.
But my point was going to be that even in those American Olympic Games, U.S. we were looking to KD. We're like, get KD
Well,
on
that's
the
what I
floor.
was gonna
Get
say.
KD on the floor.
I only have 5 fingers on my hand, and I can't count to that number before you. I mean, you think about the best scorers of all of basketball. KD comes up very quick.
Sure, yeah.
You have Jordan, Kobe, and KD like right there at that point. I guess you gotta say Bron just because of how
Yeah.
many points he scored, but those other guys just get buckets. Differently.
Somebody who would never get love now in the modern time, but has to be up there is Elgin Baylor.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Elgin Baylor was a
Yeah.
certified bucket getter.
Well, yeah.
And he is just big network television.
Yes.
But like this dude's stats is asinine, and he had no 3-point shot, and
No.
that's kind of crazy.
I think people that don't get enough credit in the scoring department is Dantley doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Alex
Adrian.
English doesn't get enough credit. George Gervin
There
doesn't
you
get
go.
enough credit.
Iceman.
And then David Thompson, because you remember they were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Iceman and David Thompson. So we're just talking about bucket getters that will
I was
probably
gonna say a young Bob McAdoo too.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some guys that just like
So-
when we kind of forget about
Yeah.
in the whole
Yeah.
echelon of basketball. I mean the the legacy of basketball, because you're so happy about Jason Tatum did this tonight, or
Right.
Luka did this tonight.
It's a
That you just
definitely
you
now.
kinda
What have you done for me lately? Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's like you
Yeah.
just null and void all these
Analysis.
amazing players.
Yeah.
I
But
think
to-
that's the one part of basketball dialogue that gets so dropped
It
out
does.
because everybody's so here. So even with the conversation with KD and who's better, Jokic,
Yeah.
2 rings.
Yeah.
They play the game so
Yeah.
differently. It's just a whole different conversation.
It
I
is.
don't
Yeah.
really like that conversation.
I was gonna
in that
say I'll
sense.
put a bow on it. I think if all that goes Nicola's way this year, he's just in his weight class.
Yeah, he is.
That's it.
Yeah.
I won't
Yeah.
say he's better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if you wanted to make a claim, Nuggets fan,
Now if we win
you
2
maybe
in a row
can.
and
If-
looking vying for a third one, and we get it, wonderful, wonderful. Now we have something to talk about.
Yeah, if Jokic
Yeah,
gets that
I mean,
third,
That's
they get 3
let's
in
get
a row.
2. Let's get 2 first.
I understand, but
Let's
we're
get
just
2
I think
first.
this.
we're
See, here's
just
the thing,
into
though.
this conversation.
I do think if the Nuggets get this one, they have a better chance of getting the next one, just because this team bench wise is going to be stronger next year. So that's
What
why I
makes
said
you say that?
Because I think we'll go get some more talent.
What
Oh.
makes you say that?
Oh well,
Well, hopefully we have more money to go
this is
do
still
something.
this is our
Or
still
trade
just
or go
Nuggets.
get- I'm just okay. We're back to how it is. All this conversation in this podcast. If you listen to this one, last year it was all championship season.
Right.
This one has always been an eye at the bench, and I don't change my opinion. I know Peyton Watson and them have all had great games, had great moments, and
Yeah.
everything. But that bench is literally the key
It
to
is.
how we line up against teams in the playoffs, right?
It's
So
all-
even with this Boston game.
And I think you know what I was paying such close attention to in that last game against Phoenix was down that stretch. I think it was late third, early fourth. Nicola's not on the court. I believe the 5 was Jamal, MBJ, Najee, CB, and Peyton Watson.
Correct.
I said if the Nuggets go win a championship, that is a 5 right there that needs to do something. And what happened was wide open looks.
Well-
Wide open looks. I think athleticism out the yin yang. Peyton Watson had some phenomenal blocks. Played great defense. Christian Brown got to the rim, made his shots, went to the line a couple times. What it really came down to in those minutes was, like I mentioned earlier, Jamal just missing layups, which
Yeah.
is uncharacteristic.
It is.
And Peyton Watson, which he will need to do, and why I even brought this
Hit
point
open
up.
shot.
Peyton Watson, please, hopefully you're listening to this. You have to knock down wide
Well,
open
tell me we
jumpers.
don't win that-
Because if you hit those
Yeah.
wide open jumpers, not only do they beat Phoenix last time, but that's what's going to win them a championship is
Well,
those looks.
You know how I feel about Mike Malone. I love Mike Malone. I do. Okay, you should have put Holiday in. He was balling those last.
I don't know because
he was
Peyton Watson was dominating on the defensive end. He
Yeah,
really was.
and that's what
so
Mike Malone's always
it
been
really comes down to
optimized
Peyton
for
Watson.
defense.
having a wide
Yeah,
open jumper.
but I
Had a
think-
wide open.
but I
Had
guess-
4 of them
But
wide
I guess
open
Michael
and
Malone
missed
had
them.
watched them miss shots the entire night. I mean, it wasn't like it just started in the third or fourth quarter. They were missing shots the whole night. So you send somebody in there, whether they're playing defense or not, and he does, to hit some shots.
But P-Watt was 0 for 5 from 3. And literally 4 of them were wide open.
And that's my point.
And here's the thing though. Last year the Nuggets win that game because you
get Brucey B.
You see that the starters are playing well.
You go
but
slash.
Brucey B is gonna go help us win that game.
Yeah,
from
he's
the
gonna
bench
go
perspective.
slash.
And that's what we're missing this year. It's like we
Yeah.
just don't have a bench player that's consistent that's going to win us a game when we need it. That's what we're hoping for in the playoffs. And we're hoping that becomes a thing. But if it hasn't been here all year, it's kind of wild to be like, here's the bench is going to do it now. But what they should do, and this is what I'm hoping for, they have solid minutes. Because as long as that bench has solid minutes, the starters are going to do it.
Nuggets Nation and UDOT. Here's what we need to stop doing from this point forward, because Mr. Calvin Booth sat on his thumb for the last 9 months and didn't do anything to fix this bench. It's got to be committee. It's got to be committee.
Yeah,
it's not going to be one Brucey B that steps up. It's got to be Peyton Watson does this.
Or
It's
Uncle
gotta
Jeff
be
who knows what to do when when the team is looking like
It's
this.
going to be Zeke Naji getting wide open dunks and a block and not losing the ball down low. Playing aggressive. It's
And
going to be
Peyton
Reggie.
Watson-
It's going to be Reggie Jackson playing like he played in LA that night.
Yeah.
When he has between 6 to 12 meaningful points.
Yeah.
CB as well as Peyton Watson. When you guys are wide open because the defense overcommitted to someone and you guys have a wide open look, knock it
I think
down.
that's the other part.
That is
Yeah.
the thing. It's not a Brucey B's gonna come off the bench. It is. It's Holiday. It's a collective this season, and this is why
He's playing. That's why Malone's playing everybody right now. That's why you see Justin Holiday play certain games. He didn't play in the Suns game,
No, he didn't.
but he
Not
played
at all.
Najee 9 minutes. So he's playing all these guys. I think the person we got to look at is Reggie Jackson, because at the beginning of the year and when Jamal was out, Reggie was on a high, flying on.
He may be worn down a little
I
bit. He
just
needs
think-
some rest. I
Yeah,
think he needs
it's
some
rest. I think it's also just we might need him in the playoffs, and he just needs to step up when the time gets going.
Well, if he
'cause
gets some
he's gonna
rest,
he's
he
gonna
may-
get a
But
call.
I think what we need to get through our heads, our collective heads here on the pod, and our collective heads as Nuggets fans or Nuggets people who are betting for them or just are rooting for them against a team that they don't like. What you need to get through our heads is that it's going to be by committee.
Yeah.
It's not going to be one person. And each game, when you get into a series, each night, it's going to be someone different who steps
do you
up.
think-
So it's going to be wild card. It's going to
Yeah.
be wild card every night.
Yeah.
Like, it could be someone, unless someone steps up and becomes Mr. Consistent.
So do you
but
think we have
I
to
don't
get the
see that at
1
the
or
moment
the 2
yet.
seed? Because we have to have home court at some
Well, we'll get into that a little bit in Not Nuggets because I think there's been a little shakeup above us. That's a little tease. So to answer your question flat out, I would love the 1 or the 2. I think the Nuggets would be in a good spot with either one of them. I want to kill myself to get the 1. No.
Yeah.
Last point on the Suns, the big three of the Nuggets have been playing lights out. I think we have to give a shout out to Michael Porter when he went.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause we weren't on the podcast since then, but Michael Porter literally went, was it 11 of 11 or
10
10
for
to
10.
10, 5, 5.
And hit 5 of 5 from
Threes.
threes. First time in NBA history that's
At
ever,
100%.
at 100% rate has ever
Yeah.
been done. So Michael Porter, and he had a great game. Well, I say great, but I mean, didn't help us. We didn't necessarily win, but he had 20 points, 7 rebounds. Nikola did what he always does, and Jamal had 28 points, right? So those guys have always been carrying us, and then just continue to give them their flowers for what they've been able to do.
Yeah, AG went 3 of 10
Yeah,
that
AG,
game. He just he
And
was
hit the game
he
winners,
struggled
but we
a
didn't have
little
any
bit.
time left. I mean, that just told me that's how this game has gone.
Yeah.
That you get the opportunity to put it back in, and then we need 1.1
Who was
second.
guarding Grayson Allen? I guess I have one more.
Grayson Allen was just balling.
nobody.
dog.
How did he have 28
No
points?
one.
Because he started the game 8 for 8 from 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the killer came. I mean, I guess he did just give Devin Booker. He got the Devin
But he
Booker
also
points.
has the highest percentage of 3-point percentage in the NBA.
Bro, Grayson Allen's one of those players that can get you.
So he wasn't on the what's it called, the report that you look at to see.
No, he had to. I think like he has to be at this point.
So, no.
Like the dude
He was
shoots so
with
many
the
threes
Bucks-
and
he was
makes
with
so
the
many
Bucks
threes.
Last year or 2 years ago, was he with them when they won the championship?
I don't believe so.
All right, but he was also in Memphis, and he was hooping with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grayson Allen just...
He's just made himself into a serviceable
very solid
pro.
role player. That's what he
It's
is.
funny because when he was in college, people hated him, despised him. And
Dookie.
he just was one of those. He was just one of those in the lineage of Duke.
He showed up. He showed up in that game.
All right, so last point for the Boston.
Last season he was with Milwaukee.
I mean, as we switch over to the Boston.
He was with Milwaukee. He said.
Yeah, so as we switch over to the Boston and the Nuggets. I know it's not a playoff game. But what are the X factors in this game tonight? What are you looking for? You know, in a playoff series, you know, we'll dissect a little bit more and make sure, like, hey, this guy needs to get guarded. Who are their X factors, and where are our?
I don't know if you're gonna call him
wins?
the X factor, but Porzingis, we wasn't there. He's new, and he's fitting in with the crew, you know, very well. Okay, so I need to see how impactful he's gonna be, and we need to shut him down if he is. That's all. I think him. We know Jason Tatum's going to give you, and Jaylen Brown, and you know all of them. They're going to play their butts off, and so, but Porzingis could put them over the top.
Yeah.
Just my thought.
I think when we play Boston, our wins to me seem like Michael Porter and AG. I see like they have a chance to just go off on that team because Tatum's not locking down nobody in the sense of, so Michael Porter's gonna get the points he wants. And I think AG's going to be able to do whatever he wants. If he's getting guarded against Porzingis, then Jokic is going to go off.
Right.
And if Jokic is getting guarded by Porzingis, that's
and
alley-oops to AG. So I think that area of the basketball court makes for a good chance for us to take over.
I mean, they're both, we'll get into it, but the Celtics just lost. Nuggets
11-game winning streak.
Yeah, Nuggets just lost after a 6-game winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
So they're both coming into this game
wanting
antennas up.
Yeah, wanting to get
and understanding that
snide.
this is a heavyweight bout.
Yes.
Boston, I give a slight edge in terms of like we got more to play for energy, and that's because the Nuggets came into their building.
Really?
I'm just telling you the truth. The Nuggets came into their building and they beat them in January. So I think there might be a little bit of revenge being seeking out by that team from Boston. But I think the Nuggets are prepared for that.
Nuggets play the best record in the league.
Well,
I think their Nuggets are prepared for that.
No, I guess why I'm saying, I'm just being sarcastic here. The reason why I'm saying is that they're 8 games up in the East on the Milwaukee Bucks.
What does that mean?
That means that they have some time to let their hair down and not give a, you know what.
We'll get into it again, but like that's kind of like I've heard that in the national media, specifically from, I believe, Shaquille O'Neal.
Really?
The night that they lost to Cleveland. And it was like, they're just bored. They're literally almost a 50-win team. They're 8 games up a second.
Yeah.
They've got the best record in the NBA by a few games as well.
Right.
So it's like, now they're, and to your point earlier, like we're in March, like the Ides of March is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are just going through the motions because they want to stay healthy.
You can't go through the motions with Nuggets.
And
no. That's why I said their antennas are up tonight.
Yeah.
And that loss, I think that loss that they had against Cleveland should have had, their antennas should have been up on that game. I think they just got,
that's why I'm saying they're bored.
They saw Donovan Mitchell sitting on the bench. They were we got this.
They wasn't bored. Wade came and cooked them. That's what actually happened.
But they were up by 20, and I just think they took the foot off the gas in that one.
Yes, but I don't think it was because of boredom. The boredom what the Nuggets did last year seems more like boredom, where they just weren't coming out to play games towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like you're up 20 points, like you wasn't bored. You just got lazy during the game. You just weren't doing your rotations.
Now this D Wade, is this the one that played in Miami? Or?
No, this is a different. The way he was playing.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
he was playing like he was D Wade from Miami.
Let's go on to Nuggets and just kind of talk about that Boston
Great
versus
game.
Cleveland game.
I mean, what is there to say? This dude, Dean Wade, went crazy. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter, hit everything, essentially.
Everything.
This man hit threes, had the game-winning putback dunk. Obviously, he wasn't in their scouting report because they would have circled him a little bit more defined at that point. I think Cleveland's a good team. Was that an Eastern Conference Finals preview that we just watched on Tuesday?
I didn't think so.
I would say no. My initial gut reaction is no. But the reason I have hesitancy is because I do think they could. I just don't think they beat Milwaukee in 5 games.
That's the thing. Playoffs are so different. You can get a team one game during the regular season,
and
when they're
one
moving
game
around,
even in the playoffs.
But when they know now, honestly, him going off is even more reason why Boston would probably shut them down. Because if Boston sees Dean Wade in the playoffs, they're not gonna lax off on him. They're gonna guard that man 90 feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the type of thing you do. And I think, and then you make those adjustments, right?
Yeah.
I know Cleveland was without Donovan, which does make them a lot more scary as far as what they could do in the playoffs. And it'd be interesting. I mean, the East is wide open to me outside of Boston. I think Boston should take the East, and if they don't, maybe it's only because Giannis is in the way.
I think if there was a just Celtics podcast out there coming into this season, they would be like, this is our year. Looking at the East, they're like, Giannis and Dame need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when you throw Doc Rivers in there, they're playing a lot better though. They're 7-3 in their last 10.
They're playing defense
because they're playing defense. So I would have a little bit of reserve if I was a Celtics fan there. However, I'm not scared of Cleveland, Orlando, New York, Miami, Philly. And all these things are
Miami.
They should be looking at Miami.
I think you should also want revenge against Miami too. So you should be licking your chops ready for them. And you kind of built your team over the offseason to get ready to get Miami because you went and got Porzingis, who can. I'm not saying he's gonna stop Bam, but he's just a big body now that Bam has to deal with. You know, and Al Horford chilling there kind of on the quiet front. You know what I mean? And then you got Drew Holiday.
Care of his energy, so he just use it.
Then you got Drew Holiday to really help with Jimmy Butler. Will it get him over it? But you can see that they built this iteration of their team with Miami in mind.
You know, I watched Boston play. I can't remember what game it was. And what came to mind at the end of the game was they don't necessarily know how to close it out. Remember they get I don't know which game that was, but Jason Tatum missed the last shot, and he just had the ball and he was dribbling around and they weren't passing around. And I'm thinking, that was this
game. And then he tried to do that fadeaway and kick his foot out.
Oh, God. That's the one. Okay. Yeah. Then it was this game against Cleveland. I just didn't see where they knew what they were doing. Or they, the Nuggets, they know what they're doing coming down the stretch. Yeah. They know they're going to do their two-man game, but they didn't do it necessarily the other day. But, they know what to do. Boston has to prove it to me.
I'm glad you said that because I have a stat for you. Jason Tatum has shot 15 of 46, 32% in clutch time this season, which is ranked 25th out of 25 players, minimum of 45 field goals in those clutch moments.
MVP.
So
MVP.
When it comes to clutch moments, Jason Tatum, he hits those shots. I'm not saying he's a bad basketball player, and I don't even think he's a bad clutch player. I do think that where the Nuggets will set up a play, get Jokic open. I don't think they do any of that.
They don't do any of it.
Tatum. It's just like, hey, go shoot.
Yeah, you got it. They off the bench. They go, Jason, you get the last shot. Just get it. Go
but
down.
They're scrappy and they're all phenomenally talented. I've historically not liked the Boston Celtics, to be honest with you. But I really like this team.
I don't hate this team at all.
I really do. I like Tatum and Brown.
I'll hate them if we're in the finals with them.
Yeah, I would hate it, but I would also they would be a team that it's kind of like Miami last year. Where it's like I don't hate them though. And if they beat us, it would suck. Yeah. But I wouldn't be super mad that we lost to those bums Lakers. Or we lost it or Philadelphia. I would hate that we lost to Philadelphia in the finals. Yeah. But with them, I really do appreciate their game. I appreciate Tatum. I think Porzingis and Drew Holiday were excellent ads. Obviously, the Colorado kid, Derek White, is a dog. Yeah, they're going to be in it tonight, and that's going to be interesting to watch. And for the rest of the season, they just need to stay healthy and coast.
Okay, so here's a question. Who would you put KCP on? You just said his name for me, and I forgot about it.
Derek White?
I'd have him on Derek White.
No,
Derek White always pulls him out.
Put him on potentially either. You're going to put him on
Brown or Tatum.
No, Tatum's too little. Tatum's too tall.
Tatum is going to get guarded by AG.
Tall. Yeah, he's AG. And so...
To Brown.
Yeah, Brown. He got guard Brown.
Until that means Derek White can go off.
No, Jamal and Murray. Okay. Jamal and Derek White got battles.
Okay.
I can show you clips of them.
They went 7.
Yeah. So I think Jamal can handle him.
Okay.
I mean, dang, we're missing a point, though, because then you have Drew Holiday, too. So Michael Porter has to guard one of those guys, too.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday's not like a crazy offensive threat though. I want to sit here and be
so
like.
So you gonna put on him? You gonna put
well, they may decide to put him on somebody else though. They may put him on somebody.
Porter on Drew Holiday. I don't hate it, but
it's also funny. Porter will go down in history as the guy that LeBron scored 40K on.
Yeah,
No,
I
that
forgot
picture. I knew I saw when it happened.
We didn't talk about that either, but LeBron, congratulations.
Congratulations, LeBron.
First basketball player to do it.
Yep.
And while we're at it, let's also talk about Cat. I heard Cat had got injured last night.
Did he? Oh.
Yeah, you never want to see nobody go down.
I don't want to see him go down.
You never want to see anybody go down.
I thought that was a little sarcasm.
No, it
for me.
wasn't.
He did seem a little sarcastic.
I wasn't sarcasm. I was like, I'm sorry to hear you got hurt. I'd rather play the best.
Yeah,
actually.
me too. And as I was telling
well, we're
Christoph,
playing Boston tonight, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I was telling Christoph, it's like we would beat Minnesota with them playing last year. Like, so I'm not scared to have Cat playing in the game. So it's not gonna root for an injury.
So do y'all know what happened? I mean, just hurt.
Meniscus. They said it's not torn to our knowledge yet, but it is. He needs to heal it, so it's gonna take a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's a death blow by any mean to the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, it's gonna cost some seeding, and Nuggets can jump up a spot or two.
Yeah.
which isn't the worst.
We played them 3 times, you know. We see them 3 times on our schedule again.
We do.
Yes.
So we can literally take advantage of those moments and them being down a very good all-star player.
Yeah.
It's his left meniscus, and he hurt it. It seems like he hurt it recently. I don't know exactly if it was in-game or practice or it was kind of like a lingering thing that just got worse. Continually got worse. But like, he's undergoing tests, and we'll figure it out, and we'll see when he's back officially. So to your point, yes, I no one wants to see that happen.
No, we don't.
He's one of the stars of this game.
Yes, he is.
It's just from a Nuggets fan perspective, I'm like, who was crying when Jamal got hurt? You know, like it's a part of the sport.
It is.
So if we are able to lock in a 2 seed, and they have to go to that jungle and down into the abyss and have to be the 3 or the 4, and they have to play Clippers or the Suns, one of those first round. Sayonara, dog.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Better you than I. You know, injuries are a part of the game. It's not football. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They happen less frequently. But you saw what happened to Westbrook. Westbrook hurt his hand.
Oh, yeah.
So the Clippers dealing with it. Nuggets obviously have dealt with it in the past.
Yes.
We still deal with the KCPs in and out over the last couple months.
Yeah.
You know,
Jamal,
always. Like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So injuries are part of the game. So for me to like shed a tear for him, I'm not gonna do that. It's more like a
feel better.
Yeah, get better soon.
Yeah,
get well soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're in that 3 seed, you're kind of destined to play either Dallas, Kings, Suns, or Pelicans.
Which sucks, bro. That's not fun.
Those are some solid teams.
Very.
And to be honest, the Warriors and Lakers are right there too. It's that.
So
that
who's
whole
the 2?
spot
Who would the 2 play?
2 would play the other. It's the same thing.
Okay.
They're literally to tell you.
They're so jumbled up
Pelicans
down
are
here.
37 wins. Suns are 36, Kings are 35,
yeah,
and Mavericks are 34. Lakers have 34 wins too. So
they just jumped up over that line.
It's all very.
No, this line's gonna get more defined because Utah is below it, the Rockets are below it, Memphis is below it, Portland's below it, San Antonio are below it, and they're not going up.
No.
The only one that could get frisky is Utah if the Lakers start to just suck, or one of those teams just start to suck in the next couple of days. But Utah is they lost 2 of their, they've won 2 of their last 10. So I think the West is kind of defining itself of like, here are the 10 teams.
Yeah.
And
these are the top 4.
How we shake it out. Minnesota, I believe, unless something drastic happens and they stick around those top 2 seeds, I think they'll probably drop to about 3 or 4. I think the Nuggets will. I think we can make a run for the 1.
I do too.
Yeah,
this is the time to do it.
One game back.
But if they get the 2 and OKC gets the 1, have fun with it because
we gotta win straight out.
Because it's the playoffs and there's really no lackadaisical
no, it isn't.
There's no 8 that you're chomping at the bit to get to or hell a 7 because your 7 or 8 might be the Lakers or Warriors.
Yeah.
Have fun with that. That's not pleasant. You know what I mean? Like I said, and I've been saying it for all year, I want the Pelicans first round. Inshallah.
It's funny because the 3 bottom teams, Mavericks, Warriors, and Lakers, all got a bunch of scorers on there. So no one's getting an easy first round matchup, honestly.
So Nuggets are 42-20. which means we only got 20 more games.
Yep.
That's a month of doing.
That
Month
makes
and a
sense
half.
because April is the last day.
Yeah, it's middle, sometime early in the middle of it. And it's not like the whole month of April we got.
Nope.
No, it's gonna shake out. It's shaking. It's literally in the process of forming.
Yes.
And them losing Cat right now is not
good. No,
ideal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and you don't know who you're gonna play. So who do you think is more likely to make the playoffs, the Lakers or the Warriors?
The Lakers.
Lakers.
Well,
They
They
might
got
play
two
each other in that.
They got
They got two superstars.
I might have a future bet on the Lakers, so
They have two superstars.
I say the
Come on.
Lakers. But like, if we're being honest, LeBron kind of left early last game when they got smoked by the Kings last night. Hopefully he's doing well or better, because the 7-8. I'm stalling.
I think Braun is good. He just is around a bunch of dudes that just aren't trying. Like I'm not saying the Lakers aren't.
I say the Lakers. The Lakers,
Bruh.
that front line is so dang
Yeah,
good.
it is.
They're too
the
talented
Lakers
not
are way
to
too
make it.
talented
Yeah,
to be this low in the playoffs. They should easily be a top
Well,
5 team in the West.
well,
easy.
I know LeBron has to be pissed off. He's like, I'm 38, 39 years old. Nobody's helping me.
Yeah, I mean, AD,
he's the best, worst superstar in the NBA because he literally scores one game he scores 40 and the next game he scores. I think last night he only scored about, let's see how many points he had. It might not have been last night. But one of those games he didn't really score that much. Yeah, 14 points.
Yeah.
So like we're playing against a team that's a game or two ahead of us, and AD's only giving us 14 points in a game we need.
Yeah.
LeBron literally gave you 31, 13, and 5. And no one really, when AD puts his mind to it, nobody really can guard this.
No,
man.
they cannot.
So it's really him. It's him versus himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole crux of the Lakers of the last 3 years is AD gonna play at the level that we know AD
And
can play
consistently.
consistently.
And consistently.
Because I just think that the Lakers are too dang talented not to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I
well.
just truly do think that. I think they should be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They will be an 8 or a 7. No, they can't be a 7 unless they get to unless they get up a little bit higher. But they'll be an 8. I think they'll be the 8 seed, and they'll probably play the Nuggets first round.
Last point, and I mean I really don't care because Lakers and Nuggets we don't like the Lakers at all. So it is.
Yeah, they're gonna get up for the Lakers.
But I'm just saying, as far as it goes, like you have Rui, who was a 1 or a 2 option in Washington. You have D'Angelo Russell was always a 1 or 2 option everywhere he went. Spencer Dinwiddie still was always a 1 or 2 when he was in Brooklyn. And then you have AD and you have LeBron. So you have dudes that are literally known for getting buckets and leading their team.
Then you have great role players because Vando's great.
Get past the 10th
Torian
seed,
Prince is
9th or 10th
great.
seed.
Yeah, and then Austin Reeves is a solid player. I don't know. The Lakers should do it. Golden State, I think Golden State is good. They're just not as talented on paper as the Lakers. Yeah. They just might be more cohesive as a team.
And they lost Andrew Wiggins.
And more consistent.
I think he's out indefinitely.
Wiggins?
Yes.
This is breaking news. I didn't know
I know. It was a couple days ago.
Did he get hurt? I thought it was more.
No, it says indefinitely, but the indefinitely could mean like next week when they indefinitely.
That was a family thing, personal reason.
Yes, I think it's personal reasons too.
So I hope you keep him in our prayers. I think he'll hopefully he'll be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's good. I think speaking of prayers, the Knicks prayers really help because
it does.
my man Jalen Brunson.
Praying. New York's big.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but it actually, it really, he survived that. It's not a bad injury, so now he's on with Obanobi, OG, and Randall. Is
Randall gonna come back?
Yeah, exactly. Now they're all in that. Will they come back? And when they come back, will they have enough time to get together and facilitate?
They'll be a dangerous team in the West.
My God, they'll be crazy dangerous.
They're not going out easy. You're getting 6-7 games.
Because right now they're in the 5 slot. They're a half game behind Orlando. I think the top 3 are cemented. I think maybe I think the top 3 will end how it is: Boston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, and then those next 3 is up for grabs. But the Knicks are going to flirt with the 4 or 5. They're just going to stay there. So are they going to play the Heat first round or are they going to play Orlando first round? And I think, I guess Embiid can come back and Philly can make a little bit of a run. But I like the Knicks' chances against any one of those teams. Miami will be obviously the toughest one for them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, best thing Embiid could do is come up, play the Cavs in that first round. If they can figure out a way to get the Cavs in the first round, then Embiid might have a good chance of getting to that next round.
Yeah, and then I guess still in the not Nuggets, there's a player I've been off pod thinking he's a phenomenal player all season. I just haven't said him on pod, so I'm gonna take the moment to say it. Mr. Jaime Jaquez. He's not gonna get the love for Rookie of the Year because Wemby is the French god that we thought he was gonna be, and Chet is Chet. But Jaime Jaquez, he fits that Heat culture like a glove. He's just a hooper. He's just definitive. Like now you see why UCLA has been good these last couple of years because he's just a leader.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent on the court. He plays above his years. Like if you watch him, you would never know he's a rookie. I don't think he's just intelligent. He's mature. He's gonna only get better and evolve in this game. So I'm very high on Jaime Jaquez.
He's really good at back to the basket too.
He is.
Them turnaround Jays. He uses that a lot to his advantage. It really is. He's a really good basketball player. I'm glad you gave him a shout out. Since we're giving out teams that normally don't get flowers, do you know who has the longest winning streak in the NBA now?
I guess we
without
don't.
cheating.
Without cheating. You look in, so I'll let you know. The Orlando Magic.
I saw that's who
straight
it was.
for Orlando Magic. So another team that doesn't get a lot of national spotlight.
Hey, you already know what it is with me and the Magic. I love me some Magic. The Magic. I don't know. We'll see. Like I think the Knicks would be a tough matchup for them first round.
But I think
the Heat would be a tough matchup for them first round. I think Cleveland is their best bet of getting out the first round.
I think they could beat the Knicks. I mean, if they're playing against each other.
And if the Knicks are healthy,
yeah. Well, if the Knicks healthy, the Knicks would beat them. But if they're not healthy, I'm saying the Magic could have a decent run. It's all fun and games to get to the playoffs and you realize that you're just not better than certain teams.
Well, I have to apologize. Andrew Wiggins played last night.
Oh.
He came off an indefinite. He practiced with the Warriors and played. His box score says he has 3 points last night.
I thought you were gonna apologize about you not believing in Wemby.
Yeah, me too.
Oh well.
Because Wemby is.
Do you want to take the moment?
Yeah,
do you want to? The floor is yours.
The season isn't over yet.
My apology was for Andrew Wiggins. That W. No, Wemby's been playing well. I mean, I watched him in a couple games and he's been doing Wemby things.
Mm-hmm.
I just said he needs to eat. When you can go back and check the pod. He just needs some weight on him, and if he gets some weight, Giannis had to go through it. He had to gather some weight on his body because otherwise it's just. But that length will get you the blocks.
The NBA a little bit in trouble if he eats and gets a little stronger.
Outside of
Jokic and Embiid, though, every center gonna get destroyed.
He gets the blocks. I see, he fills up the stat box.
He's the guy already.
Yeah.
Like
you want to know his let me tell you what he's been doing lately, just for anybody that's listening. He had last night was all right. He had a 10, 11, and 7 blocks.
And he got worked by Segura.
He had 31, 12, 6 assists, and 6 blocks.
He's still a rookie, though. I mean, I get it. He's good, okay?
He literally had
but he's still a rookie.
He had 10 blocks against the Raptors.
I'm not apologizing.
So he hasn't. The last game he had less than 2 blocks was almost a month ago.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah,
definitively.
I mean, he's a good talent.
But now it's like now that you know what you have, San Antonio, build around this dude.
Absolutely.
Like, go get him a Jamal Murray either through the draft or Trey Young would be. You get Trey Young.
Agency.
Now free agency. If you get
Trey Young would be dangerous.
That would be a crazy little thing. And then you get role players and build this thing because he's coming.
Yeah.
And it would be terrible, very terrible if you just squander another 20 to 25 win season. I know Pop knows this, and that's a winning franchise.
Yeah, that's my point.
They have 5 championships.
Sure.
My entire growing up watching NBA is filled with moments of the Nuggets season ended by the San Antonio Spurs.
I thought he was lucky to land in San Antonio, so I think they'll do it.
Yeah, perfect landing spot.
They'll be the best spot.
Clearly, he's been. And the other thing about Wemby, he doesn't play that long. He's doing a lot of this on 28 minutes.
Because they're monitoring his. First it was 20, and then they gradually moved him up. So
so he starts playing 35 minutes a night.
Dude,
he's gonna be trouble.
No doubt. Dude is a dog.
Yeah,
he is rated. I know there's people who didn't believe in him, but he is who he is. Speaking of that, the guy who dogged him last night or the other night was Alfred Sagoon, the Turkish Joker. I won't give him the Joker tag yet, but he's
little Joker, look, mini
yeah,
Joker.
baby Yoke, baby
Yoke.
Joker, baby Yoke,
Baby Yoke.
baby Yoke. He's dope. He's a good player.
He's a good basketball player.
He's kind of got the
I say he's an undersized.
he's got the
baby.
pizzazz. He's got the pizzazz. He is 6'11", 243 Cal.
Okay.
So undersized, sure.
He ain't
It's a
tall.
pretty big
when
human.
You see him against Jokic, he doesn't look that tall. You see her,
But he just worked the dude who was 7'4".
Really, I didn't see him like he.
Well, a rookie. I mean, it's good.
You want to hear his stat line?
No, I'm sure it was good.
45 and 16.
Wow.
Dude was
19
dogging.
rebounds last night with 14 assists.
Who had 19 rebounds?
Yeah, he had a triple-double
He had a
last night.
crazy triple-double.
Sagoon.
He had
That's
one
a
of
crazy
Jokic,
one.
23, 19, and 14.
23, 14.
Points. 14 assists, 19
Wow.
rebounds.
Two
Yeah.
steals.
2 steals.
Yep.
Yeah. So the dude's playing his
He
butt
should
off.
be probably up for most improved player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's got to be definitely in the discussion
Mm-hmm.
for
That's
sure.
ridiculous.
This
Goodness
dude is
gracious.
he's just crafty
He's 21 years old.
and he's got that pizzazz. Like
Yeah.
he kind of does it.
No,
you
I
know,
am.
also I was high on the Rockets coming in and they played well. But you know I'm gonna start calling teams like the Rockets. I'm gonna start calling them in-season tournament teams.
Oh, wow.
You know, where they're good early
Yeah.
and they could win a in-season
And then
tournament
people
team.
notice them being good early, and then they
And then
gear
like
up for 'em,
and then like they
Like
just
Indiana-
as the
like Indiana
season
Pacers.
Yeah, like
and that's what I was
Indiana
gonna say.
Pacers.
Indiana Pacers is an in-season tournament team, like where they're actually good in that first month of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and they come out and they're like, wow, look out for Indiana, look out for Houston, look out for XYZ, and
Lakers.
come March.
You know
Well, the
what's crazy
Lakers
about-
are
They
just
won.
they're just talented.
No, I get it.
They're
I'm
truly
just-
talented.
Bruh.
But sure, you could throw them in that
Let's
this
throw 'em
season
right
for
on in
sure.
there.
It's early, but if you redo that draft, Sagoon might go 1 or 2, bro.
What?
In that draft,
Let's
I'm
have
not
fun
even-
with this.
Let's have fun. Because I'm just saying, Cade Cunningham, still a great basketball
Yes,
player.
he
I'm a
is.
big Cade fan.
You're gonna die on this sword.
I think he's still good, but Sagoon's been playing out
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, with that
Jalen
triple-double.
Green, he's had his days. He's not terrible. He's a solid basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Mobley. I think Scotty might go number 1. I think teams might do Scotty there. But then you start going down the list: Kuminga, Franz Wagner. But then look at bro.
You miss
Sagoon-
Kitty Giddy.
Yeah, I did that for
Right,
obvious reasons.
uh-huh.
And then Sagoon. Sagoon's right there at 16. And then you go look at the rest of the draft. Bones was in it, but
And that's something we got.
He
I don't
would
know.
be
I
very
know
close-
we got
close to one if you ask
MPJ
me.
about that number too. So they do have some good teams, some good
That
players
late-
around
yeah,
there.
that late-
last picks of the.
Late lottery picks.
Mhm.
Cam Thomas was in that pick number 27.
yeah, he'd be up there. He'd be top 7.
He'd be a
Top
top
7
5,
players.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm taking them over some players for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Huh. Well, with that being said, let's head to the 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining. So every season,
Yeah.
preseason,
Yes.
they're doing the international games.
Ah.
You know, spreading the love across,
Evangelizing the game.
evangelizing the
Right.
game, barnstorming, if you will.
Mm.
In the last couple years, they've been going to Abu Dhabi, which is in the UAE, which is the Middle East. And this season, or next season, shall I say?
This year.
Yeah, later on this year in October, the Denver Nuggets
What?
will be heading to Abu Dhabi to
Wow.
play team they're playing tonight. Actually,
And the Just
the
Nuggets
Boston.
podcast will be podcasting.
Oh, we're gonna
live
go? I
from
think we
the-
should go.
I'm down.
I'm there.
Say
No,
less.
yeah. So they go play Boston.
Yeah.
They will play Boston twice in
Oh,
Abu
2
Dhabi.
games.
2 games.
Yeah, because if you fly that far,
Yeah, we gotta give you a couple.
you
games.
gotta have. a
Yeah,
couple
you
games.
got it, and it's like a couple nights. You gotta get as many fans in there as
Yeah,
well.
that's
You
true.
know,
Well, you think does Nuggets travel? Fans travel like some of our other not to be spoken teams in Denver? They may, because if they travel like those orange and blue,
Oh yeah.
no, I mean, I think it's also showing that. I mean, obviously they're the champions, but the Nuggets have reached this next level where they feel confident being, like you guys go be a statesman of the league.
yeah,
You
Well,
know,
also with our 2 best players are international.
that's true.
that's true.
It's true.
So we bode well to go show you what the
Yeah.
game can do
Mhm.
when you get the right players.
No doubt, and it's cool
And
because
it's not that far from home country for Joker.
Yeah, it's a couple hours.
Yeah,
It's closer than Denver.
Yeah, it is closer than Denver.
Yeah.
Don't you think that
Yeah,
flight's
sure,
probably
yeah.
that flight
It's
should be
probably
closer.
like, yeah, it's a couple hours, like 6 hours, 7 hours.
There you go.
But
So they may get all of, you may get all of them down.
yeah, I mean, what a time to be a Denver Nuggets fan.
Yes, loving it.
Especially if they are coming off of beating the Celtics
Hey,
in the
wouldn't that be
championship,
something?
and then you go play
know,
them in Abu Dhabi.
That
That'd be
may
tight
not
too.
have been. That may be the thought. You know, NBA's pretty, savvy like that.
They're hoping.
Yeah, they're hoping. And then wouldn't that be something?
Well, speaking of if something was something, even though it's not, I
Yeah.
wish the Nuggets. I mean, I wish Denver had a WNBA team so we could
Ah.
have drafted. So we could have been bad
So we can
at
get.
the right moment.
Let me guess.
to
Caitlin.
Get Caitlin.
Oh
Clark.
yeah, I'm glad you brought it
Or
up.
that were good or mediocre, and we could go see Caitlin Clark play. in the
Exactly.
NBA.
right. So
Exactly.
what did Caitlin
Caitlin
do?
Clark became the all-time NCAA all-time scoring leader. She passed Pete
Men,
Maravich.
women, everybody, all of it.
Todos los días. I mean, todos. All of
Oh
them.
wow.
All of them.
Good
yeah.
for her. Excellent. She's been excellent this year. I think she's done a lot for the game of basketball and especially women's basketball. So,
Yeah.
she's Steph. I'm not gonna say Steph Jr. I'm gonna say she. If you haven't seen her, you've been somewhere and didn't watch it. She is excellent at 3 points. She's carrying her team
Yeah.
Iowa, and they will be in the playoffs or the whatever they're gonna have tournaments.
She brought
coming
the
up,
she
so-
brought the long ball three.
Oh, my
to
God.
The WNBA.
No, yeah.
I mean to the
And
You guys have
college
uh,
basketball.
You guys both touched on it. Steph Curry, everybody knows he
Yeah.
changed
He spread the
he
game, yeah.
changed the game of basketball,
Basketball, yes.
not just NBA basketball. Because you go to any rec center,
Now they're shooting
you
threes.
you go to any high
Everybody's
school,
shooting
they can
threes.
shoot
everyone's
the
doing it.
Everybody thinks
And what
they can shoot.
Caitlin Clark is, she is a descendant off of that
Yeah.
change,
Mhm.
and she's just the first woman
Yeah,
to do this at a high level. So she's changing the women's game.
yeah.
But I say it's from the cloth of
Well,
off
this
the
is our
tree
second
of
mention. This is a second mention of her this
Steph
year.
Curry.
That-
We show
we-
love to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark
Yeah.
from the
since-
jump.
But I
from her
mean,
freshman year.
the first scoring title that she got earlier in
Yeah,
the
like a month
spring,
ago.
a month ago, she hit it from the logo
Yeah.
to hit a three.
She understands the moment, and like she lives up to
does.
it. Like she like for that moment, she knew she was 2 away.
Yeah.
And she's like, "How do I want to hit this? Step back,
Man,
30 feet, cash."
I'm curious to see how she plays with Aaliyah Boston next year when they're with the Indiana Fever.
I think that could be great.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice little combo because
Is it
Aaliyah
inside,
Boston,
outside?
They literally got the first overall pick 2 years in a row. So
And
Now-
Leah Boston was the rookie of the year last
yeah,
year.
so that's gonna be interesting. They got the inside out game.
And this is what team? Tell our audience.
Indiana Fever.
Indiana.
This is
Yeah.
a projected team that she's supposed
Yeah,
to
right,
go
because
to.
they're number one seed.
Yeah, they're number one,
pick. Uh-huh.
and they'd be absolutely out their brain if
They
they
would
traded
be.
that
Yeah,
pick.
come on.
I know they got the. I
No.
know who was it? The Sparks, I believe, has like 2 and the 4.
Yeah, they're not going to.
So someone can make a package deal, but like
Yeah.
Indiana, very
There's
close to
very few,
Iowa. You know,
Yeah.
Indiana historically a great basketball state.
Mm.
Indiana Fever have won a WNBA championship, so I don't know why they would ever trade that pick, especially when you have a generational talent come into the league like a LeBron or a Wemby.
Yeah,
Why in the world would you ever trade that pick?
I don't think you would.
No.
They're not stupid.
There's very
Actually, I would say
very
their
few
plan
times
is
in
excellent
sports.
because
Yeah.
you got the back-to-back number 1 overall picks. Leah Boston, absolute dog.
Yeah.
You got Caitlin Clark, and then to your point, that inside-outside dot is going to be something special to watch. Are they going to be enough to dethrone what the Aces got
doing?
going over there?
No.
I don't think in the first
Not-
couple
Not in
years.
the first
Not
couple
early.
years.
Hell, do they think they have enough to get through, New York?
Nope.
New York has got a great thing, Ionesco and Stewie. So
Well, that's the thing. I'm interested.
she's
to
just,
see,
I guess what I'm saying, sorry, I want to finish
go
this
ahead.
point. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. But, like, I think with this new generation, you have Angel Reese coming in as well. You have new names coming into the WNBA that's going to actually facilitate
Paige
and, like,
Becker.
she's staying for one more
One more
year.
year? Okay.
Yeah. But, like, it's like now you have, like, some great talent and name brands coming behind it. So when I'm like, oh, I want to watch Stewie versus Caitlin Clark. I want to watch Asia Wilson versus insert one Angel
Angel
Reese.
Reese, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy how it's starting to shape out. And if I was a WNBA commissioner or executive, I'd be pumped where the league is now.
I was just wondering where Caitlin's from. She was born January 22nd, 2002
I lost on me.
in Des Moines, Iowa.
Des
Moines. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Des Moines, Iowa. And so she's home.
Yeah.
And she'll be near home.
Well, there you have it. And like I said, as if the Nuggets shoot like Caitlin Clark, we have no problem beating Boston tonight. So I'm excited to see this game. Where is it playing? I think it's a national TV.
TNT. Turner.
Hey, we finally get to watch the Nuggets.
Finally,
on TV,
yeah. And then we've been watching them a while. We had ABC, we had ESPN sometime, we had TNT Tuesday, and now tonight. Wow, we're going to get spoiled.
All right, so let's go Nuggets from the Just Nuggets podcast. I am your favorite point guard of the podcast, K.Collie. You can find us on Twitter at Just Nuggets Pod. Just Janet, do you have anything last to say?
Go Nuggets.
Let's
go Nuggets.
All right, everybody, take care.
Take care.